welcome back to my channel. In the last video we explored physical interface on the firewall. So today we are moving a step ahead and talking about the VLAN interface and the loopback addresses, what they are, why we use them and how to configure them. So let's get back to the lab. So basically this diagram was my physical diagram, like the physical interfaces. We have used this for the physical interface. We can do one more thing. So let me continue with the same diagram up here. So let me go back to my firewall, the admin and admin. So today in this session I am going to explain you about the VLAN interfaces. Why do we use them? So basically, let's imagine you work for the corporate where there are more than 50 department. So every department should have the separate subnet or the separate the gateway has to be provided. So that's because you can design the policy based on the VLANs or the different subnets. Okay, so what I'll do is in this lab, so I'll create the three different VLAN. Let's say VLAN 10 for IT department, VLAN 20 is for HR, and the VLAN 30 is for finance. Okay, so basically what happens in the physical interface lab, so every VLAN will have the every interfaces, or every gateway will have the separate physical interfaces to be connected. Let's say you have the 40 different VLANs. So every FortiGate firewall comes with a limited physical ports. That is depends on the model. So if you go ahead with the 600, 200, 100, 60F, all those have different ports. So now the requirement is we have the 40 different department. We need to have the 40 different interfaces. So that will be not possible here right now. So that's why what we do is we configure the VLAN interfaces. And one more thing we need to keep in mind, that VLAN interfaces will always be created on the top of the physical interface. Okay, so let me delete this connection, and what I'll do is I will connect with the new interface. Okay, so port 0 to, let's say, port 3. So the port 3 is my physical interfaces. Rest everything VLAN 10, 20, 30 will be created in the switch as well as in the FortiGate firewall. Okay, so let me get back to the FortiGate firewall page, the interfaces. Now I will create one physical the VLAN interface here. So let me give the name VLAN 10, which is IT. Okay, alias name is IT. The type is VLAN, and the interfaces is physical interfaces, which is port 3. VLAN ID will be 10. VRF is 0. It will be LAN. So let me give the IP address 10.10.10.1/24. The object ID has been created, and let me enable only ping. Ping is enough, and the DHCP server from 200 to 210, and my net mask is /24. The default gateway is same as the interface IP, and the DNS server, if you have any, you can add 1.11, or I will add one more, the external DNS server 8888, and the lease time will be 60,000. This is fine, this is enough. So I have created one VLAN interfaces on the top of the physical interfaces. You can able to see up here. Okay, so I'll create one more, the VLAN 20. So VLAN 20 is HR. Okay, alias name is HR. So interfaces is the port 3. VLAN ID is 20. Okay, so the IP addresses will be 10.10.20.1/24. Okay, this is same like the VLAN 10 we have created. I'll enable the ping here, the DHCP server as well. So 20 to 254, this is fine. So if you want to add, you can add the DNS as well, 10 and the 8.8.8.8. The lease time is 60. This is enough for the VLAN 20. And we also have the one more VLAN, which is finance VLAN. So that is VLAN 30. You can write finance, and the interface is port 3. and the VLAN ID is 30. So the IP address will be manual. So 10.10.30.1/24, and I'll enable the ping. The DHCP server will be from 20 to 254. So if you want, you can add 10.10.1.11 and so 8888. So it's fine. Now if you see here in the port 3 interface, physical interface, you could be able to see all three VLANs, VLAN 10, 20 and the 30. Okay, so now let me get back to my diagram lab. So we have created three interfaces on the top of the port 3 physical interfaces. Let me get into the switch now. So this is my Cisco switch, configure terminal. Let me give the host name as a core switch. Okay, and now configure terminal interface VLAN 10. The name is IT, and the VLAN 20 name is HR, and the VLAN 30 where the name will be finance. Okay, so now you can see my VLANs, show VLAN, three different VLAN, IT, HR and the finance. Okay, so now what I'll do is I'll connect three different systems from each department. Okay, so I already have one virtual PC which is 0/1, and there will be two more virtual PCs. So there will be one for the HR and one for the finance. Okay, so and for one for the finance. So let me connect this virtual machine with this Cisco switch, this 2 and this will be 3. Okay, so let me power on all the virtual machines. Okay, so there will be one more thing I need to do. I will make this interface E0/0 as my trunk interface. Okay, so trunk interface, what it does, it carries the multiple VLAN. So configure terminal interface Ethernet 0/0 switch port mode trunk. Okay, so I have to enable the encapsulation before makes to trunk. Switch port encapsulation, switch port trunk encapsulation .1Q, switch port mode trunk, switch port trunk allowed VLAN all. Okay, and there will be no shutdown. Okay, and now I'll assign all these three PC to the different department now. Okay, so configure terminal interface Ethernet 0/3 switch port mode access switch port access VLAN. Let's say this, the PC3 will be in VLAN 30. Okay, exit. Now the interface Ethernet 0/2, this one 0/2 switch port mode access switch port access VLAN 20. Okay, no shutdown. And there is a last system which is E0/1, which is connected to E0/1. So end. So configure terminal interface E0/1 switch port mode access switch port access VLAN. VLAN will be 10. Okay, no shutdown. And now show VLAN. So 0/1 is in VLAN 10, 2 is 20, 3 is 30, and show interface trunk. So the trunk is E0/0, this one, it carry all the VLANs. VLAN allowed on the trunk is all almost, and the native VLAN is 1. Okay, now let me go back to the virtual PC. IP DHCP. Will I get the IP address from the FortiGate Firewall? Yes, DORA process has completed have received the IP address from the FortiGate in the VLAN 30, which will be 10.10.30. Okay, even though we have connected the single cable between the switch and the FortiGate, but still I'll get the IP addresses from the firewall. The next will be IP DSCP. It should be from the 20, the range 20, 10.10.20.0. Okay, so we have received the IP addresses from the FortiGate firewall, which is 10.10.20.20. The last one is the PC1. So IP DSCP. Okay, Dora. So 10.10.10.200. So all my PC can able to ping their respective gateways. Okay, 10.10.10.1. Yes, they can able to ping, and here also the same thing, 10.10.20.1, and the PC3, which is my finance department, 10.10.30.1. See, all three different interfaces can able to ping their respective gateway, but can they able to ping the internet? So that is the big questions. Can they able to ping? No, because we have not written any policies for the VLAN 30. So let me go back to my firewall again, admin, and the admin, close, and what I'll do is, here one more thing we need to keep in mind. So every interfaces is like the independent one, and they do not depend on the port 3. If you write any policy for the port 3, it will not be effective for the VLAN 30, 20 or the 10. Okay, so let me go back to firewall policy. I'll write one policy which is VLAN 10 to VLAN 10 to WAN. Okay, so here the VLAN 10 outgoing interfaces is the port 1, which is my WAN. Source is all, so destination is all, and the services is all. So that has been enabled. I say okay. Now can I able to access the internet? Let me check. Not yet. I think the policy went wrong. So it is for the VLAN 10, sorry. Okay, so VLAN 10 is this PC. Can I able to ping the internet? Yes, I can able to ping. Okay, so for the PC2 and the PC3, the same policy has to be written in the firewall policy page. Okay, so let me write one policy too. I'll show you the VLAN 20 to the WAN, and the VLAN 20, and the outgoing interfaces will be port 1, source is all, destination is all, and the service is all. It's not a good practice basically, so for the lab purpose this is fine. Okay, and say okay. So now let me go back to my diagram. VLAN 20 is this. Can I able to ping 888? Yes. So thank you so much for watching my video.